this is Ursula, and I'm bringing today a knee strengthening practice. So we're going to start here sitting on a couple blocks. If you don't have any blocks, try maybe some books or phone books, whatever. And if you have a hard time sitting without the blocks, this is something you want to start doing on a regular basis, like reading, watching TV, whatever you do. And as you're feeling more and more comfortable, you can eventually drop a block at a time, like I'm doing here. So find what works. What we're doing here, we're stretching the ligaments of the knees. We're stretching the quads. The quad muscles are connected, obviously, to your knees, and it brings blood flow and health to your knees. So you want to practice this over a period of a certain time, couple weeks, couple months, it depends. And eventually you want to sit either on one block or none on your knees. So I do this a lot. I sit a lot on my knees, whatever I do throughout my daily life. I sit a lot on the floor, and this is so beneficial. So from here, we're gonna set everything up and we come into a downward facing dog. Just to get a little blood flow stretch, you may walk the down dog here or roll over all 10 toes. So this is gonna be a quick, short 18-minute practice, just particular for your knees. You can add that on to any other practice or as a standalone. 1 or 2 more breaths right here, rolling over the toes. Anything, any movement or no movement at all in downward facing dog. And then back down on our knees, and we're gonna grab a block and we put it right above the knees in between our thighs and squeezing the legs together. That is for your knee strengthening and health, because you're activating here the inner thighs and the inner ligaments and muscles of your knees. You can stay here in down dog as long as it feels good. You bend your knees here a little bit, but squeezing into the center, the midline. And then try to walk it forward. Maybe grab 1 or 2 more extra blocks to put them right under your hands. And with that same squeeze, that same activation, we're folding forward and take about 3 nice long breaths. But keep the knees active. Make sure your feet are nice and straight forward. And then you can fold and you can lengthen arms straight as you inhale and exhale. Fold. You can also just only hang forward. I'm giving you those options here. Do what feels good. This is really in particular about your knees. So now I want to demonstrate chair pose. So option 1, you may put a block in between your feet and then 1 above again your knees, or bring your feet together, your big toes touch. And then we can bend here into a squat, again squeeze against the block, and inhale, rise up, exhale, bend it. 1 more. Make sure you keep your feet straight or big toes touch, or again the block in between. Let's reach up to a tall mountain and arms and back into the chair pose or squat. And again, squeeze. That will build your inner thigh strength and help really to align your knees. Let that breath flow in and out of your nose, and we're gonna fold forward here again. Inhale into a flat back and fold again as you exhale. Rise up and hands in front of your heart. And now we do that without the block. Keep the block there if you feel you still need it. Otherwise, just bring the big toes together, come into a tall mountain, exhale for cactus. Now squeeze the inner thighs. Your body kind of build that memory. The block is still there, so squeeze it in really into the center. It's also good for alignment. Weight is in your heels. And then we're coming into a downward facing dog from here again. Stretch out your legs, bend your knees, reach the tail. And then eventually straighten your legs back, let your heels come lower, and we inhale into plank and upward facing dog, or actually it's more like a dancing dog pose. Just about 3 times to lengthen everything out, legs stay together, Chaturanga, Dandasana. Exhale back, roll over your toes, and once more again. So on top of your feet, this is good for stretching your feet, your arches, and in your arches, your knees and your hips are so connected. So if one of them is giving you trouble, the other one will follow. So that's why those moves are really important for strength. So from here, I'm going to demonstrate now a lower kneeling lunge, how we can strengthen the knee. You may use a block under each hand. Lengthening that chest, sinking the hip. It's a preference if you're curling the left toes under or keep them flat. This again lengthens your hips, your hip flexors, but it also strengthens the right knee. Take a couple nice deep breaths. Bring your arms up if that suits you here, or keep them where they were. And cactus to stretch that chest up. Breathe here deep. You never want to hold your breath. It's so important to breathe. And now we straighten that right leg, flex the toes, use the blocks for your balance, walk the blocks with you. And we're stretching here the back of that right leg. You can also bring a block under or behind the knee. Be careful with that, but it makes it easier to hold the pose, stretching. Feel that in your shins, your calves. And again, it's going to affect your knees. Roll the foot forward. And from here, we're going to switch it up now. Left leg comes forward. See how I'm walking that more forward? So as I'm bending the knee will be a 90 degree. And I'm guiding myself here for the balance with the blocks. Can also, the blocks are more horizontal or flat, or if you have great flexibility, none. Reach that chest up as you inhale, shoulders back, and sink into your hips on the exhale. Look at my back foot, it's curled under or flat. This is optional. That you go by how you feel and how you can hold your stability. Reach your arms up if you can. Try that. That opens the chest and lengthens the lower back, and you can sink a little bit lower and deeper into your hips, and cactus nice and slow. And then we get ready to straighten that left leg nice and easy. Flex the toes back. That has again to do with the alignment and the ligaments of your left knee. Put that block behind you so you can hold it easily here for 2 or 3 long breaths. It's not so much how much you can fold forward. We're concentrating here more on the knees today. And we're coming forward once more. And then stepping it back. And we're going to come into a wide-legged or wide-kneed child's pose. The block is there to relax your forehead. And again, so you kneeling and giving the ligaments and the muscles enough time to open up and lengthen and strengthen at the same time. Just a couple breaths. And then we're getting ready for bridge. So one of the blocks goes again in between your inner feet and one above the knees. And I actually need 3 blocks because I'm going to bring one behind or our lower back. So it's lay down, move your heels closer to your sit bones, and then find what is comfortable for your arms. Roll your shoulders under, squeeze the blocks, both blocks, and then you can bring that 3rd block flat or horizontal right into your lower back, so we can stay here a little bit longer. You could use a pillow or a bolster as well. Squeezing the whole time those blocks between the knees and between the ankles together. So that builds the strings, it builds the alignment, and it releases the hamstrings. Deep breathing. Let's move the block and slowly coming down. Then remove the other two blocks. And we hug the knees into the chest. Roll out that lower back, that sacrum, a few times in each direction. Hug those knees really nice and tight, cross your shins, and let's roll up seated. So we're turning here the left knee under. So you're looking at your heel, it's right on the outer hip, and the right leg is straight. So you want to line the knees up the best you can. Sit up nice and tall, that's step one. And again, you need to build this, it takes time. And then just lengthening that spine forward to a degree what feels comfortable. Letting that breath flow easily in and out. Do not hold your breath. Use your arms here to balance. Make sure you're flexing the right toes towards the knees and maybe spreading your toes. And then we're switching the sides. Make sure your sit bones are pressed down. Lengthen on an inhale. Stay in that pose, or guide carefully with your hands forward. So you do not want to round the back too much. Just think about length. Think about the crown of your head is growing towards your left toes. Even if it doesn't look this way, but my left knee is on the mat. Coming back up. Bringing both legs forward. Readjust your seat. And then we're going to come flat on our feet and squeeze the thighs together. You could put a block in between again. And we're going to come here into Padmasana, but slowly. You see how I'm walking my sit bones back after each breath? And I'm trying not to bring my spine up. I'm trying to lower my spine and my face with the move. So after each breath, I walk the glutes more back and more back until eventually both legs are straight on the mat. Deep breathing is the key. Lengthening behind the knees and the hamstrings. Reach the arms up and cactus. Keep squeezing your legs together. And then from here we're going to get up, find a bolster or a rolled up blanket, what you're going to see here in the second picture. Turn the toes out, bring your heels under so they're elevated. And either using the wall to come into Malasana, yogi squat. So you see how I'm putting my elbows in the inner thighs, inner knees, and open them up. Or if you're a bit more advanced, you can sit without the wall, just on the blanket. Take a couple nice deep breaths again here that opens up the inner and outer legs. And then on the last one, we're gonna either roll up a blanket, have a bolster or a second blanket behind us and trying to lay down. I'm going to demonstrate here a few options. So option 1 is the blanket. Option 2 is going to be a foam roller. Oops. And option 3 are those squeezy, squishy yoga pressure point balls. They are wonderful behind your knees. So we want to put the spine right in the center of that bolster. So I'm turning a little bit to the side so you can see me better. And then take those squishy balls right behind your knees. lining up your knees, and either lay down still, or we're going to do a couple movements with our feet. We lift one up, really flex the quad and flex the toes back. Other side. So really activating here the thighs and the knee muscles to give them strength. Both legs are lifted and flex the toes back. You can do all those moves or just pick one or two or just lay flat. Releasing and bringing back up. So really activate and squeeze those quad muscles. Point the toes, flex the toes, inhale, point, exhale, flex, inhale, point, flex. Just a few times. You can really feel that with those balls behind your knees, how the muscles flex. And then we're turning the toes, moving the ankles, one at a time, reverse, other leg. This is something you can practice again every single day, especially if you feel like you have problems with weaker knees. And then roll them both in one direction, and then both into the other reverse direction. And then turn your toes towards each other. Will activate the outer knees and quads. You can feel that really even in your lower belly. And then turning the toes to the outer side, you will feel this more in the inner groin, in the inner knee, ligaments and muscles. And then just let it go. Just try to relax. Almost like a shavasana. You can stay there or keep, playing here, moving your feet in and out. Or just relax here into a shavasana or follow me. I'm going to come up here. Move the squishy balls and come into a cross-legged position. I thank you so much choosing to practice with me today. Let me know what you want to see next. Leave me comments, please. Give me some thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Have a blessed day.